Hey there, everybody. Shell Brodnax here with another episode of Stager Talk, and I am super stoked today to welcome the wonderful Marianne Cherico. How are you, my friend?
I am so happy to be here, Shell. We go way back.
I know. I don't even know what year it was. It's been a
Like
long time.
2009 or something. I mean,
It's been
when
a
did
long time.
RESA start? Yeah.
2009.
And we were on Active Rain together,
That's
which was
right.
such a cool
That's right.
network.
That is
I
right.
met Spanky there and Michelle Minch and you and lots of friends, Kathy Burke and
Oh,
um
I got to tell
Kathy
you.
Lee Chabelli.
Yeah, you just mentioned Spank, so I've got to just tell a really quick story because I know you'll appreciate the woo woo about it because I always get it from her. Um, my mom sent me a get well plant because I had surgery, and my husband got it in, and he walked in and he goes, "Oh, you've got a flower." I said, "A flower," and I looked at it and it was a white orchid, and the first thing I thought was, Kathy sent me flowers. That was the first thing that sent to me because that was she was known for that orchid. And
Oh,
I called my mom and I'm like, can I just ask what made you, because you don't ever send this type of gift. You send like meat, Omaha steaks or jewelry or something like that. And I said, was there something that happened that just made you think to send that particular orchid? And she says, I don't know. I just sent it.
oh,
Yeah.
that's so woo. That is so woo. Shell
Yeah.
and I have had many conversations about kind of universal energy and how what you put out comes back to you and all kinds of stuff through the years. We've had lots of heart to hearts on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's so woo. And Spanky, for those of you who don't know, is Shell's best friend. She passed away a few years ago, but she was huge in the staging business. She was Shell's right arm. And yeah, we miss you, Spanky. So here's to you.
There you go, Spanx. Um, Actually, it was 2015, and it's her anniversary is at the end of this month. Her passing.
Wow.
Yeah, she says
Wow.
me all the time, so it's cool. Well, there's
She
nothing
is
left.
with you.
There's nothing left unsaid, and I still talk to her as much as I did when she was alive. So we're good. Universe works that way. So let's talk about you. So if everybody's Marianne, you're coming on. You've come on now as a partner of RESA, an education partner.
Yeah.
So we're super excited because you've been down doing coaching for several years, and Marianne has been a longtime real estate agent. So she's understands not just the staging businesses because she was a great stager. She also understands the real estate side of it. So she's the whole ball of wax type of chick right now. So let's talk about
Oh.
your coaching. Are you finding that are you coaching everybody from like cradle to grave, or is there a certain niche of part of their business that you're coaching, or how are you working? How do you operate?
I love that you asked that because I was trained as a coach. I mean, coaches can coach anybody basically because you're trained to ask the right questions and stuff like that. It's different than an instructional course. You're actually kind of asking a lot of questions about the person. You're getting deeper into the mindset issues that they may be facing that they may not even be aware of. So I was thinking about really what types of clients I most seem to get. I have worked with clients who are just starting their business, even before they got certified. And I do recommend that they learn the business of staging and get certified and all that. But I think of one client, Nancy Saffron, who I worked with as she was leaving her career in early childhood education. And I worked with her for a few years and she built her business and now does multi states. She does Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And I often refer her
I didn't know she
because she's
expanded. That's good for her.
yeah, yeah, she's doing great. And I've recommended her to clients because I don't do the hands-on anymore. I just do the consults. In any event, she's my typical client. It's a second career.
Mhm.
They're go-getters. They don't want the huge business. They don't want a big team. Although I have worked with people who want the team and all that. I think my sweet spot is working with clients who are certified and they have drank from a fire hose. We have some great certification companies, and RESA has recommendations of some that I completely endorse. But they are drinking from a fire hose and then they're overwhelmed because they think they should be doing everything and they don't know how to prioritize things and they don't know how to get money in the door. And my goal is to help them get paid really well, which I think is tough for women, especially sometimes. I see it a lot. and build a business that they love that supports the life that they want, a very boutique business doing the things they love. I mean, the world is their oyster. There's so many different directions they can go in. So getting clarity around what they want to do and how do we market that? Because one thing I'm really big on is marketing and messaging to your ideal clients. So I work with clients, typically my typical client, and it's not always true because I have worked with new ones and ones that have been in the business a long time, but it's usually people who have been in the business under 5 years. They've been certified, they've tried to grow their business alone, and they realize that they need more. They need somebody who helps them with their mindset issues, with their business strategies, with marketing and messaging, with being confident about selling without feeling salesy
Salesy, yeah.
and showing up, being visible, putting a stake in the ground and saying, "Here I am. This is what I have to offer you," and always making it about them through the lens of how they'll benefit when they work with you. So I offer one-on-one coaching, which is private. I also have a group. It's a handful of stagers who want to build their business, and it's a year commitment. We meet 3 times a month live, so they get my eyes on their business, and I have a class called Unlock the Power of Agent Referrals and Boost Your Bottom Line, which is all about getting business from real estate agents who I understand after being in that business for 27 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what I love about the coaching? Because you are right. Coaches, I think a lot of people confuse coaching with consulting. And
Mhm.
a consultant is going to come in and say, these are all your systems, keep it, ditch it, fix it, do all that. They're going to really get into the nuts and bolts of it. But a coach is, let's pull it out of you. I find that so many people, on my coaching calls with people, sometimes they just don't, you're like you said, they're overwhelmed. They're drinking it all in and they're overwhelmed and they're just not even sure where to prioritize, where to go. And a lot of them, when I ask them, well, what type of staging business do you want to do? And almost all of them will say, well, I want to stage homes for real estate agents. And I'm like, I know, but which ones? Which kind? Do you want high end? Do you want a giant business with a warehouse and moving trucks and 401ks and vacation pay for your employees? Or do you want a smaller boutique? Or do you want a consultation or occupied only? And when I start talking to people about that and saying, what are the things that you like about it? What do you like about working with this? Because sometimes people will not even recognize that, you know what, I really do have some skill sets to deal with a lot of people. And I actually
Mhm.
do like the occupieds. And then there's certain people are like, you know what, I prefer the vacants because of just the different, it's just a whole nother ball of wax. So to pose those types of questions, they get to really figure out, and it really starts them thinking. I have no idea how this stuff happens.
Look at you, Shell. Look at you. That was like a woo moment. It was like a boom, like a woo moment.
It's
I
the
love
universe
it.
went, "Mic drop."
I love it. I love it. All right, Felicia, I want some fireworks here.
I got this.
Um, well, and I agree 100%. I think a lot of people don't understand how coaches work. They get a lot of the stuff out of you to find out what you want to help you get there. And there's sometimes they say things like, "Well, I want you to just tell me what to do." And yes, I can do that as a consultant. Obviously, I've been in the staging business since 2005, and I've done every kind of staging there is. So as a consultant, I can consult them on that. But having said that, I don't think that people really understand the value of working with a coach. And you and I have worked with coaches, so we understand that I might be able to give you the most amazing business strategy or marketing strategy. But if your mindset isn't behind it, if you don't confidently articulate that, or if you don't show up enough, in your marketing platforms, or if you're afraid to invest money in your business, those are mindset things often that are blocking you from your own success that you don't realize. A lot of stagers in one of my sweet spots is getting business from real estate agents. A lot of stagers have a real issue with reaching out to them, and they get caught up in the minutia, like, what do I say to them? It doesn't have to be hard,
They
but it's
overthink.
not easy because they're afraid to make those calls, to get in front of them, to have that coffee date. And then what do I talk about? Again, it doesn't have to be hard. Get to know them, care about them, ask them questions. and then let them know how you can help them build their business. And there's, you really easy ways that you can do that. And tools that I give like a PowerPoint presentation and even offering to teach them how to use your, I call it a highly effective and affordable consult. And by affordable, I don't mean cheap. I mean, it's affordable to a real estate agent who wants to win a listing that's going to gain them thousands of dollars by paying a stager a few $100s and offering it as part of their marketing plan. So that's just one way that you can educate real estate agents about how they can work with you. And real estate agents are the gift that keeps on giving because they continually will refer
They've got
you.
your person, yeah,
They they have more than your ideal person. If you wanna do design jobs, they're your go-to. They know everybody, and once you win them over, they are incredibly loyal, and
yes,
that's the part that people don't see is how loyal they are. But they have to like you in order for them to wanna refer you to their clients. It's not gonna be because of an Instagram post. It's
right,
gonna be because they've met you, they've looked at you, they see how you articulate your value, how you treat people, with kindness and professionalism and honesty. Because you have to tell them the tough stuff, but you don't want to do it in a way that's going to push people away.
yeah.
So, especially real estate agents, before they're going to refer you, they want to know that you're referable. So, you have to get out there and you got to put your neck out and you have to meet with them, but it doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah, I think people get really hung up in the like, give me a script or your one-offs or your rebuttals and all of that. And I like, you know what? You can get some one-liners. I can tell you some one-liners, some zingers,
Yeah.
but if you can't deliver the zinger with the emotion and the passion that comes with it, sometimes it falls flat. But what never falls flat? Authenticity. Just being authentic.
100%. Where's the fireworks? Where's the fireworks show?
Telling you, I just think
100%.
so
100%.
many
Like,
people, I was like, meet your potential clients on a human level first. Meet them on a human level because like you said, they're gonna have to like you, love you to refer you to other people, and you want a collaborative relationship. So something that I've learned over the years in staging, and I really thought of it in staging, and then actually applied it to my stable business, and it works. Where so many stagers in the beginning, they were allowing themselves to be interviewed by potential clients because the client's trying to see if they're a good fit for them. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. Let's flip the script and let's interview that client and make sure they're the client that you want. Understand those red flags and then don't ignore them. Because here, like at the farm, I'm pulling people onto our farm. These are strangers that are in my space. There are other client horses. There's a lot that goes into it. So when you come here, they think they're coming here to look at the stalls and the pastures and, my bath situation. And it's like, no, no, I want to know about your horse. I want to know about you. I want to know about your philosophies because they're not in line here. We need peace. We don't want drama. And then if it doesn't work, I always say, you know what? Not a big deal. I don't think we're actually the right fit for you. Let me refer you to somebody else. So then I develop my network here. So stagers, it's the same thing. If you get a client and you can tell from their personality that they are prickly and you will know right now, this person kind of rubs me the wrong way. You know what? We are actually booked out, but let me send you over to Julie. I think
yeah.
Julie's great because you already know Julie and you've had conversations with Julie and Julie says, send me the pricklies, man. I'm all about it. Because you will find people like that, right? You know stagers. I know with me, if I had somebody that was resisting, I get stagers all the time that say, I can't get them to sign or to close. I'm like, oh God, I just wish I could fly there and do it for you because it's just so empowering. So there's people like me that like that challenge. Kick it to somebody who can handle it.
Yeah, and I think obviously the one who's asking the questions has the power. That's just a rule that, I don't know where I heard that, but it's the truth. The one that asks the questions has the power. And as much as the real estate agent or the client is interviewing you, you want to know if this is a good fit as well. It's the same with coaching. I don't want to coach people who aren't coachable. It's the same thing. So I think that the problem comes when stagers feel desperate, and that energy is just not good energy.
Not.
Because when you feel desperate, then you settle, you take less money, you start negotiating your price, And the bottom line is, I see stages do this all the time. They're hustling for their worthiness and they twist themselves into a pretzel to meet that client's guidelines instead of setting their own boundaries. And that causes burnout,
Yes.
resentment, and then you start to hate your job. And I don't want that for stages. I want them to love what they do. What we do is fabulous. What we do, should light us up every day. And I want people to go to work working with clients that make their heart sing because that's a currency. It's money. We all need money. I'm not saying it's not important. Don't get me wrong. But the currency of doing a great job and working with people that you love is huge too.
And because money and misery doesn't mix. It just
Mm-mm.
doesn't. And, when I look at, the stagers that do start to bend and they try to be that low price leader just to get the job and doing, I can promise you one thing. I can promise you lots of stuff actually. But what I'm gonna for sure gonna home run this one. The empowerment and the lesson that you will learn from walking away from a job and referring it is priceless.
It is.
It is okay to not take every job is not for you, sister. It is not. I could go out and bid a job if I was a stager, go out and do it today. Marianne, you could go out and bid the same job, and at 1 o'clock we can meet at Panera Bread and have a BLT. It is totally cool. So you're gonna get one, I'm gonna win one.
Yep.
It's gonna be one of those things. I would much rather compete on value and the strengths of my work product than on price.
100%. And the thing is, there's so many things that we could say about price, but when you start coming in as the lowest price, that's your brand. You're saying, I'm the lowest price. So people expect that you're not going to be as good. They do. Or some, there's people that will only pay the lowest price and they get what they pay for. And there's people that will only do that. But most people will pay for somebody fairly if they see the value. And that means it's up to us to dial in our messaging and make sure our messaging is clear so that our ideal clients see the benefits of what it's going to be when they work with us,
Yeah.
that we put ourselves out there more, that we 10 times our efforts to make sure that the right people are seeing us. I mean, top stagers that I know and are still marketing their business and they're doing very well, thank you. It's a commitment when you own a business. You can't just get certified, learn how to stage, and then think all the business will come. It's not like that.
Yeah.
And I see that stagers don't want to invest in themselves, they don't want to spend money. And it breaks my heart because when you invest in yourself, whether it be a certification or coaching or a specific classes on marketing or working with Heather Cook, who I adore, the social stage, a lot of my clients have worked with her. um, you the clients that I see in myself who have invested in myself, you go a lot further, you get there faster. And you can't get it on Google and Facebook groups. You can get band-aid
Surface.
solutions.
Yes,
Right.
yes. It's just a Band-Aid. You're putting a Band-Aid on it. And you know what another thing is? I want to ask you this. When we talked earlier about, the consulting, versus coaching,
Mhm.
is there sometimes you get pressured, obviously? Could you just tell me the answer?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what I do, and let me ask you if you do this. I'm gonna tell you
Mhm,
what the answer is, but then
mhm,
I'm gonna teach you how to strategically think of how I got there and why.
mhm,
Because I
mhm.
think you can just do what other people do, but if you don't have the understanding of why it's being done, I don't think it carries as much weight and I don't think it does as much benefit to you because you want to be able to figure it out again.
It's like, for an example, everything you do, people see the surface stuff. Okay, I'm going to build my Instagram platform. Okay, then first of all, you got to dial in your ideal client really strategically. You really have to know who that ideal client is. And then you have to find out where they are. And
Yeah.
then you have to find out how to get them to engage with you. And then you have to figure out how to create the graphics, unless you want to pay somebody to do it or have somebody like Heather do it. And but you have to have a strategy. And then you want to look at your metrics and where you're getting business and where you're getting the hits. And you're going to, you want to pour gasoline on the things that are working. And if it's not working, then you have to figure out, do I stay with this after having given it a lot of time and really fine tuning, or do I want to work on another marketing platform? Or do I what I like to do is I like to layer different platforms, like try to get really good at one and then add another one. But you got to understand the strategy. It's not about throwing spaghetti against a wall. Like a lot
I'm
of
gonna
what I
agree.
coach my clients on with and I've noticed, and I'm like so friggin' proud is on their blog posts and in their emails and stuff, really speaking to that ideal client and letting them know the benefits, but doing it kind of in a Donald Miller story brand way where you make the client the hero and this is how I'm going to help you. You're the guide, right? And seeing them dial in that messaging and really speaking directly to those clients we have to get better at what we do. We can't blame, oh, that real estate agents don't want to work with stagers or they don't get it. A lot of real estate agents only think that you can do thousands of dollars on a stage on vacant homes. They don't get it. It's up to us to educate them.
Yep, absolutely. And
That's
there's
my
so much that,
rant.
yeah, there's so much that can be done as well. Um, let's talk about NAR and the
Oh my goodness.
and the
Okay.
new lawsuit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are your thoughts on it? I haven't listened to your podcast on it. I was trying to get to it this morning. I was like, I'm running out of time.
No, no, that's good. So really I simplified it in my podcast. My podcast, by the way, is Home Stagers and Designers on Fire for the listeners. And I have
On
fabulous leaders
Spotify
like
and YouTube,
Shell on it and Spotify, YouTube, actually
iTunes.
Apple, all the platforms. And I have an episode with the fabulous Shell Bell. But the NAR settlement, basically, it's a lot of hoo-ha about nothing. It basically says that previous to this, an agent would get a signed contract with a listing seller. And the contract would say they would be paid a certain amount commission, which they would offer the buying agent a percentage of that to get buying agents who represent the buyers to bring their buyers. So it was kind of a win-win, but the fiduciary responsibility was to the buyer agent for the buyers the buyers to the buyer agent and the sellers to the seller agent. So they had to protect their sellers if they were a listing agent, and the buyers had to protect their buyers. So then the people that presented this lawsuit said, well, now buyers can't negotiate their agent fee. So this isn't right, it's price fixing, blah, blah, blah. It's against the antitrust laws. And so the settlement basically says that now in the listing agreement that the seller signs, the buyer agent cannot be compensated. They can be compensated, but it can't be listed in the listing agreement. So buyers agents now can either get paid by their buyers and they can have a contract with their buyers, which is tough because a lot of buyers, especially first time buyers who move, things up the ladder, don't have that extra money, or they can put it in as part of their offer and have the, listing agent um, pay it, or they can, the buyers can go directly to the listing agent and not have representation. So basically, it changes things for real estate agents, but we as stagers work with the listing agents, so it really doesn't impact us.
Right.
Now, people are saying prices will come down, which I do not believe at all, because the thing that affects prices is supply and demand. And I know here that there's such little supply and such big demand, and that's what raises prices. And so, what people pay for a commission doesn't really affect prices.
Is a dual
Um,
agency
mm.
allowed in every state?
I'm not sure about that, Shell. So, dual agency is when somebody, when a buyer comes to a listing agent and the listing agent represents both the buyer and seller, and they become more of a facilitator, and their fiduciary is not to one or the other. So they have to be more careful about what they say. Like they can't say, well, this one's getting divorced because that might make them look weak or something like that. So it's more of a mediator position. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if dual agency is impacted by this, but the two things that the NAR dealt with is it's this simple, taking out that clause in the listing agreement that says a buyer's agent will be compensated this much. And then there was one other thing. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, and that non-MLS, non-NAR agents can be compensated a commission. So what's happening in the real estate world is the National Association of Realtors is the biggest trade association. And what's happening is that certain real estate companies are trying to get out of that, from paying dues from that, from going by their rules and this and that. So, you wonder if it's going to be the Wild West a little bit if some big agencies are pulling out of the NAR because they don't have to adhere to the code of ethics and their guidelines and whatnot. Having said that, the NAR lobbies for real estate agents and real estate and all that. But those are the only two things that have changed
Right.
in that settlement. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of companies, I think there's more lawsuits, and a lot of companies are settling because of this, antitrust laws. They're not admitting that they were wrong, but they're settling to make it go away or whatnot. So
Paper.
it's really, I don't think it'll affect us at all.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's much to do about nonsense. And the money's being spent, the house is being paid for, the money's whether it comes from somebody's bank account, who else bank's account, it's all for me, it's like, why? What's it matter if the check comes from the agent or the buyer? Because the buyer is going to get the mortgage and they're going to pay it. And so they're going to have the money. So
The
there's
only thing that I think and I think they can't do is roll in those costs into the
to
mortgage.
the
I
mortgage.
believe.
Oh,
I would check that.
I
But
wouldn't want to actually do that because then you're paying interest on it.
yeah, exactly. But a
Is
lot of
correct.
buyers don't have the upfront cash. So, but again, they do have choices that they can go directly to the listing agent as long as they don't have a contract signed with the buyer agent where they've committed that if they buy anything, they have to go through that agent. But I think a lot of more buyer agents are going to want to become listing agents. And that again, positioning is another thing I coach my clients on. Use that to your advantage. Talk about how you help agents get listings. And we go into depth about that because having a listing is like gold. Like once you have that contract signed, you're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to get paid once that sells. Now things can happen, title issues and financing and stuff like that. But if you can talk to listing agents and let them know how you help them get listings, you will win them over.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's switch gears to RESACon. You're coming,
Yeah.
your sponsor. So if you are on the fence about RESACon, I'm gonna say it every year. Jump off the fence, run. Don't walk to your computer and get your ticket today because Marianne's going to be there. And I know you're going to want to meet her. If you already know her, then you love her and you're going to want to see her again. And if you haven't had the pleasure, you're going to want to meet her for sure. There's a lot of great sponsors, new ones this year as
Yeah.
well. Um, Bobby McGrath is coming, Michelle Minch is coming. Just so much going on. And the speakers this year, one of our keynotes is Mike Peterson, and he's very involved in high point and design, and he is doing the science of design. So he's going to teach
That is so
people.
cool.
There's actual scientific documentation about the aesthetics of your environment actually helps people's health.
Oh my gosh, Shell, that is
So,
so I just interviewed Kristen Pereira. It's coming out shortly, and she talks about wellness design, and I am completely fascinated. That is so cool. I'm definitely go to that session. I mean, I've been to RisaCon so many years. In the last couple of years, I lost my husband and
yeah,
I just kind of, crawled into a ball and did my work and whatnot. I'm really excited about coming and seeing my colleagues and meeting new people. And every year there's so much to learn. Even for us old people like me, who's going to be 67, I always learn something. The energy's palpable, and I'm really, really excited about coming.
yeah. You know what I love about it too is that like everybody's a celebrity at RisaCon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because we know
Yes.
everybody online, and I will even us staff because we talk to people all the time. You know them, and you're like, oh my god, that's such and such. It's like that's who that is. You know,
Yeah.
that's Robin over there, and I'm like, oh, let me go meet her. And
Yeah.
then you get treated like one as well because everybody impacts somebody else, influences them on some certain level when you're when our groups online and social media and people are giving feedback. It is just such a wonderful way to be able to spread your wings, get to know people. You're going to learn tons in all the sessions, but a lot of the learning also comes with your conversations that you have with your peers,
Oh,
breakfast and lunch, and we have the awards that are there, and we honor the
mhm.
leaders and the top stagers out there, and it's just so much. It is so fun, and it goes by so fast, and it takes a year to plan, and then
Especially for
we're already
you.
it's
You
April, and
work
we're
so
like,
hard.
"We just got home. We just got home. We just got home from RESACon. I'm not even unpacked." And it's like, "Here we go again." But it's great.
Yeah, it is great. It's great. I highly recommend it. It's life-changing, game-changing. I've met the most amazing people there, and every year, I see old friends and meet new ones, and I love hearing about people's businesses, and it's really palpable, and you won't sleep, but you won't need it. You can sleep when you get home.
Yeah, sleep on the plane home, that's for sure, and then we're gonna go to
Exactly.
Market. We're gonna do a tour again this year of Market, so anybody that's new that's coming that has never been to the Las Vegas Market, get yourself a resale license and register at Market, and then come on the tour with us because we're gonna go check it out and help everybody around. And a lot of times, I've spoke to a lot of new people that say, they're just getting started and maybe they'll come next year. And I will tell you, if I've talked to several people this last week that feel like because they're new, they don't have anything to offer. And I'm like, well, you're there to learn, number one,
Learn
and
from people who have been there. I
who have
mean, my
been there
gosh,
and done
that's
that.
perfect for new people.
But when we've actually surveyed our attendees, the average time where people started going was like at year 3, and 100% of those people reported back, I wish I would have gone year 1.
100%, because you always wanna be in a room with people that are way ahead of you. That's how you just get there faster. So 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
And the other thing too is some of the sessions, you might want to sit on a session. You might not be ready to do this quite yet, but
Yep.
you can sit on the session, you can learn about it. So now you've got information for the future. It's just really life changing for people. We hear it all the time.
Yeah, and everybody has different business models, and sometimes it
Yeah.
opens up that opportunity too, things that you didn't think that you
You
could
think
do.
of.
And wow, yeah, I could add that to my menu. Or, maybe you don't like the business model that you have and you want to transition and you want to talk to somebody that's sitting at your table about how they started doing occupied consults instead of vacant homes or whatnot. You will learn, to your point, just from the people sitting at the table with you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, gosh, this goes by so fast. I
I
swear,
know.
every single time. You're so easy to talk to and so brilliant. Tell everybody your website address and how they can reach you on everything. So, website, coaching, podcasts, all of it.
Okay. Well, my website is www.coachingbyMarianne.com. That has my podcast, Home Stagers and Designers on Fire, on it. It does have my 3 different coaching offerings on it as well. Let me see. RESA, if you are a new group coaching member, I do offer a discount. You can go if you're a RESA member and you get 15% off my group coaching. It's a great deal. And I'm on Instagram. I just changed it. I think it's at Home Stagers Coach Marianne.
I'll
And
take
I'm on
yours right in front of me.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Um,
you're on all of it.
I'm
Home Stagers
everywhere.
Coach
I'm on
Marianne.
Pinterest.
That is it.
So it's at Home Stagers Coach Marianne. Follow me and I will follow you. And thank you so much for having me on this. It was such a pleasure.
Well, thank you for coming on and being a service provider and a resource for stagers. And if you haven't checked out Marianne's website, please check it out. It is really great. She's got a lot of great information. She's been doing this for a minute, so I don't think you're going to go wrong. I think you're really going to enjoy talking to her and getting to know her and growing your business. So thank you.
Thank you, Shell.
All right, everybody. Again, if you're on the fence, jump off, run to your computer, get your RESACon ticket, resaconvention.com. Get there. We will have another price increase soon, so get your tickets now so you can get the best price possible for yourself. Till next time, everybody, thank you for joining me and happy staging. Bye.